Alright, moving on to homework 30. It's 4 systems that you have to solve using matrices. So let's move on to our first one. Convert it to a matrix first. So you're going to get 2, 7, 21. And in your second one, you get negative 4, 2, negative 26. Alright, well, I notice here first that this 2, if I times it by 2, and then I add it to that one, I get 0, which would be really nice. So let's leave row 1 the same, and we'll take row 2 and add twice of row 1. And we're going to get a new matrix. If you double this first row, first row is just going to be 2, 7, 21 like it was. But the second one, if you double the first row and you add it to the second, double 2, add that to negative 4, you'll get 0. Double 7 and add to 2. Double 7 is 14, add to 2 is 16. Double 21, that's 41. Add to negative 26. I don't particularly know that on the top of my head. Here, 42, subtract 26. You're looking at 16. Okay, sweet. And now we're at this point. This second row is almost ready to go. You just have to divide everything by 16. So take row 2 and divide everything by 16. And leave row 1 the way it is right now. Row 1 is still just 2, 7, 21. Second row, though, has become 1, 0, 1, 1. Okay. Now we can take this row here and use it to help us get the next one. Because if you take this 1, times it by 7, and you subtract it from the first row, your second number is going to become 0, which is what we're looking for. So take row 1 and subtract 7 times row 2. And leave row 2 the way it is. Okay, to subtract 7 times 0 is just 2. 7 minus 7 times 1, that'd be 7 minus 7, that's 0. And then you got 21 minus 7, that'll give you 14. And so we got 0, 1, 1 still on that second line. I'm going to take that first row and divide everything by 2 because I want this number to be a 1. And I'm going to leave row 2 the way it is. So now we got 1, 0, 7, 0, 1, 1. So, remember, the first column are your x's, second column are your y's. So this says 1x is equal to 7, 1y is equal to 1. So x is 7, y is 1. You get the point, 7, 1. And that's it for your first one. Move on to number 2. Write your matrix first, keep your negatives with you. So this subtract 2 becomes negative 2. And you got negative 24. Second row, you got 2, 4, 24. Now at this point, I notice that if I take my negative 2 here, times it by 2 and add it to the 4, I get a 0 there in the middle, which would be ideal. So I'm going to leave row 1 the way it is, but I'm going to take row 2 and add double of row 1. Okay, so row 1 is going to stay the same, negative 3, negative 2, negative 24. But second one, you have to double the first row and add all those numbers to the second one. So if you got 2 plus negative 6, you get negative 4. You take 4 and you add negative 4, you get 0. And you get 24, you add double of negative 24. That's 24 plus negative 48. You get negative 24. And there we go. Let's take our second row and divide everything by negative 4, because that will get us a 1 right there, which would be ideal. Now let's leave row 1 the way it is right now. So row 1 staying the same. And we're going to take row 2, divide by negative 4, and that gives us 1, 0, and 6. Okay, now we can take this second row if we times it by 3 and add it to the top one, we'll get a 0 out front, which is ideal. So take row 1, you're going to add 3 times row 2, and row 2 doesn't change. So now at this point, you're going to get 0, because 1 times 3 and plus negative 3 gives you 0. 0 times 3 and add to negative 2, you get negative 2. Take 6, times it by 3, you get 18. Add that to negative 24, you get negative 6. And the second row, is 1, 0, 6. Take your first row, first row, and divide by negative 2, because you want this to be a 1. So divide the whole thing by negative 2. You don't touch row 2. And you get 0, 1, 3. And the bottom row is 1, 0, 6. Okay, remember, x's are the first part, y's are the second part. So this second row here says that x is equal to 6. The first row says that y is equal to 3. So you get the point, 6, 3. Done.